Welcome back to the Dota Summit 8. It is Wild Card Saturday here at the house. We are festive. We are excited. We are ready for beautiful Dota. I'm joined here by some beautiful people. I've got Mr. Blitz, new and reborn, Fogged, and Gods. Gentlemen, big day.
Yeah,
It's getting hot in here.
I'm already sweaty.
It's the ramen, though.
It's the ramen. No, it's the ramen.
The morning ramen never goes too well.
No,
You had a
it's-
morning ramen?
He has a morning spicy ramen.
I didn't have a ramen the last 2 days. I had yogurt today. I went for the ramen. Don't judge me.
It wakes up your whole body. You just feel it like
Yeah.
I'm just
go through.
waiting for the frantic. I need to go to the bathroom in like an hour.
I'll be all right.
Fogged.
Not having my coffee this
Are
morning.
you trying to train like an iron stomach?
No,
Is that the plan here?
no, my stomach's usually pretty decent. I should be okay.
Okay.
Ramen shouldn't handle me too hard.
So we've got a big day of Dota ahead of us.
We do.
Guys. It is NA Saturday.
It is.
The best region will be on full display.
And what better than a full NA couch?
Yeah.
please, folks. I'm not there yet.
You're
You're an adopted
included.
son
That's true.
of America at this point.
Dude, you've lived in California for like 6 years
and
or
he
something.
went to
That's true.
school in Texas. so-
Yes.
I'm a Texas
I
graduate.
don't understand.
You're NA.
Your roots are here now.
Okay.
So, looking at the day today, we've got OpTic taking on compLexity to start things off, and then we have EG versus OG. Two teams I think been expected to be alive on the final day. They'll be lucky if one of them makes it through. So I mean, there's so many
Yeah.
juicy ways the day could shake out. You've of course got like the PPD Swindle Melon showdown to kick things off. OG versus EG, always a classic. And then I mean, who knows? Maybe PPD gets his rematch with his first real showdown outside of Midas mode.
Yeah.
With the boys in blue. Maybe not.
Feels like all these grudge matches, PPD is the common factor, you know?
Yeah, I mean,
Every-
he is the,
the
there's
oh,
a,
this is a
there's
good rivalry.
common
This is also
thread.
what? Wait, what? PPD's in all four of these? Like, what's going on here?
It's because Secret's not here. It's usually either Peter or Puppy, right?
Yeah.
They have like
True.
that revolution of
Web of
hate.
hate. It's like some medieval times, with all the shifting royal alliances there used to be. But
I'm hyped for this first match though. This is literally the NA qualifier showdown. So
These have been,
I'm
like
good
the
with
two
this.
best teams in NA after EG for a while.
not a single North American team has been eliminated yet.
Not a single North American team is in the top
Keeping
four
it
yet.
strong.
Where's NA in the top
Yeah,
four,
but
guys?
we're almost guaranteed. We have 2 chances at that.
There's no way that we can't.
The memes are never gonna die if OG is the one team that comes out of the day.
Yeah, you got-
not a single NA team makes it to the final day.
That would be a rough top
Oh,
four.
you're saying OG. I thought you meant the OpTic Gaming OG, because that's my real OG.
See, that just demonstrates your American
That's my
bias.
true
Yes.
NA OG.
You are representing the region.
Not my OG.
Yeah. what did Quinn say that it was? Overrated garbage.
Yeah.
Outdated garbage.
Obsolete.
Obsolete
Obsolete
garbage.
garbage.
Obsolete garbage. Yeah.
Yeah, but did you hear PVD? He was like out here when OG was losing to VP. He was like really happy because he knew that if VP beats OG in Game 3, that they got to play Cole.
Yeah.
Like he was actually, I can say that because it's not private info. He was visibly very excited.
He said it on the couch too.
Yes.
I think.
Yeah, he was
He's like,
elated.
out of those 3 teams they could verse, they wanted to verse Cole. They didn't want to verse VP or OG, which was a possibility,
Mhm.
and they didn't want to verse EG, of course. So
Is that just a matchup thing? Is it a lack of respect for the opponent? Where do you?
It's probably
Maybe
a little
all
bit
the
of column
above.
A,
All the above.
All
a
of the
little bit
above
of
in my
column
Yeah.
B.
A little get under Kyle's skin. Believes in the mind games.
They have a rich and sordid history together.
It's a beautiful tapestry.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
just woven by links and links.
I'm sure if you ask most people, like, to rate those teams in order, like 1 to 4 in strength, like 1 and 2 would be OG and EG, whatever order. Like, so I think on paper, Cole are the weakest of those 3 teams.
Yep, agreed.
Yeah, we'll be moving to traditional BO3 Dota today. So
Oh yeah, this could be a really quick day.
it could be a quick day. It
Could be a long
could
day.
be a long one.
Could be a normal day.
But the teams are these are do or die games. You lose a series, you are out, and that is true the rest of the tournament. Whoever makes it through to the final day will also be in single elimination.
So today really is the best day because we get
Yes.
2 teams eliminated right here.
3 teams.
3
eliminated.
teams, sorry.
Yeah, we give a lot of teams the boot. We throw them out of the house after they lose. They're not allowed to eat anymore, and they go home. No, we don't actually do that.
That doesn't sound so bad.
They get to cast
They get
if
to
they
cast.
so desire.
Maybe not right after they lose.
No, probably not. So overall predictions here, guys. What are you expecting? Do you have like a running favorite to take the day? I think it's up in the air.
I think OG will take it.
Which OG?
God damn it.
Well played,
Yeah.
yeah. It's well played.
Yes. No, I think the European OG
Okay.
will take it. They will be victorious for the day.
Hey, OpTic has
Sorry, NA.
€3, actually. So technically, they're really a European team.
So
Size and
then I
honorary
will say
American.
the OG that doesn't stand for anything.
Okay,
That's the team that I
Great.
intended. Better?
sure.
The one with Fly as a captain.
There you go. Now there's
Flies
no
OG.
more waffling. you
I was
know,
gonna say the one with the
picking-
three-lettered captain, but
Uh,
you know that
The
would
belt's
also
coming off.
PD fly.
the belt.
The belt's off.
I'm not sure what to make of that.
They look serious.
Kyle's
today.
just ready, dude.
Yeah, he looks.
Kyle
really
has been
serious.
enjoying. I will say this is Kyle's first summit. He's been to this house once before. I think he's here for the town one time. but
Mafia, yeah.
He was here for one Dota tournament when Starladder hosted an event out of the house. So he missed
is
the
this
summit right before that.
Roller
Somebody
Coaster
playing-
Tycoon?
Who
oh,
is this?
Hell yes.
Yeah, this looks super
Oh,
old school.
I loved this
I
game.
have this on my phone now. So
You can play that game on your phone now?
Yeah, it's impossible to build stuff. I'll be
I
honest.
feel real old.
Is someone playing this?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
Who is playing this?
Yeah, that's who I'm more
That's a nice roller coaster.
maybe concerned about.
I used to love making it like you could make like the roller coasters where it was way too intense and then everyone gets off the ride and
Wait.
they're just like puking everywhere.
No one's even playing.
Oh.
There we go.
Oh no.
Ah.
Matthew Bob.
That game was fun. And then you'd put like the what was it, like the popcorn shop and then you'd make them walk really far to get the soda. They're all like super
It was just a murder
super
simulator
dehydrated.
for me. I
It was
just
a murder
find,
simulator,
yeah,
yeah.
figure out the most creative way to murder your civilians.
Could
That
you
was
could
the
actually
fun of
kill
the
them?
game.
I can't remember.
Oh yeah.
Did you get little tombstones too? I
Yeah.
don't think. Yeah, you did get little
I think you
tombstones.
did.
I think so. I think in the second one they added tombstones. I don't
One
remember
of them.
anymore.
I think I
The
only,
best
actually,
part
I
is,
only
like,
played
the-
2. I don't know about Roller Coaster Tycoon 1. I don't think I played that.
someone
two
will
you
let us
can
know.
murder
The
them.
news does not get out though. Like somehow people just keep on coming in droves to this murder park that you've built. You know?
Yeah, you just cut the
Maybe
the
you're just
pathway
really
off.
good at like word of mouth.
Yeah. That's, the other good one was in The Sims when you like remove the door and put a wall in and the person just
Let me just
slowly
stack up these 15 wooden chairs and put 4 fireplaces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the pool where you remove the ladder. And, like they can't they can't just like
swimming-
push themselves out of the
They
pool.
spend 8 hours swimming until they get too tired and fall asleep and drown.
They actually die. It actually takes it a while. I played recently. I won't lie. I played like 2 months ago.
yeah.
Killed the person in my pool. Took him like almost 2 days in game time to die. He was a real athlete.
I mean, it feels like, you don't need the ladder to get out.
but
Yeah, you would think, but these are Sims we're talking
Okay.
about after all. So, I
right.
give our
Wait.
Dota players a little more credit. I'm sure they could get out of a pool even if we removed the ladder.
I don't know about all of them.
Some
Okay,
Probably a
but-
few couldn't.
This is gonna sound dark, but what if the water's pretty high and then it's a bit too high for them to get out? It's like a foot above them,
Okay.
and then how do they get out, LD? And it's just one guy.
What kind of a pool has like a foot
So
of concrete above the water?
I don't know. It's like one of those visual effects,
sounds
like
more
you're
like a
swimming in a
torture
fishbowl.
chamber.
But then somebody goes to sleep, and for some reason they remove the retractable ladder.
For the record, we do not have a pool here at the house
anymore.
anymore.
There was one last time.
The paddle pool.
Yeah.
William.
Paddle pool.
It was about 2 inches high.
Mm.
Pretty sure the players can get out of that.
I know Hani. I saw photos of Hani in one
Yeah.
back then.
Was
when-
that the was that the first
That was at
summit?
Summit 2, right?
Yeah.
Or 1.
Well, the first summit we got a paddle pool.
Yeah.
That was good. Notel hit it
Fun.
up. I
Yeah.
think like 2
Notel,
people
Hani.
swam in there. Notel and Hani.
Not at the
the-
same time though, because Honey took up the whole pool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember we got like 4 or 5 people in there. It was all the Europeans wanted in because they were so used to cold, miserable weather.
Those
so.
were the Navi US days. That was
That was Summit.
Navi US was at that.
You were here
tournament,
as a
Summit
player?
1.
Not at this house. I was
The
at the
other
other
house.
house.
Mm.
Was that Summit 1?
Summit 1 was Navi US, Navi, DK, EG, Vici, and like.
That was with
Fnatic.
like you and Ush.
We had
stuff.
No, that was with me
Yeah.
and Theben and Brax.
Oh, was Ush not on that iteration?
was
Who was
not.
your mid, Brax?
The king of the snays.
Oh, Snaking?
Yeah.
The original king.
The real king of the snays.
The
And
real
then
king.
you stood in for not today twice or just once?
Once.
Okay.
That was Summit
Summit
2.
3 or 2.
2.
One
I
of
didn't. The only summit I didn't go to was Summit 3.
Rest in peace, not today.
Rest in peace, not today. I played with a bunch of banned players.
That's true.
Think
Of
about
course, you were
West
not
Coast
involved
Smash.
Think about it.
in
Of
any of
course
the
not.
nefarious activities.
course not.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't seen Vogged any Valve events in a while.
What?
You band player?
I guess. I mean, I wasn't playing at them. Can band players be talent?
Definitely
Not in Counter Strike.
Yeah.
That's true.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Steel is not allowed to
Well, I'm not
observe,
banned then.
even though he's like, considered the best observer.
Yeah,
Or used to be
imagine Valve
Wow.
would not extend talent invites to band players. But who knows?
Only one way to find out, really.
Pog, tank this for me.
Veggie Esports throw games for a couple $100.
Tank this for me. I need to know.
Yeah. Veggie Esports involved in the next
I'll
322
pass.
scandal.
I'll pass on this, guys.
Yeah.
So we do have 10 players in the lobby. And while we wait, I think it's a great time to thank our wonderful sponsors for helping to make this event possible. Sennheiser, the official audio of the Summit. AOC, the official monitor of the Summit. And, of course, HTC's Vive, as well as Monster Energy Drink. Crack a cold one open with the boys.
With the
Is
boys.
that their motto?
It's our unofficial motto.
I like the curved AOC monitors we got. Like, just every day looking at them, like I want
Oh,
to get
that
one of
is
these.
curved.
Yeah.
I just
It's
noticed
a
that.
subtle curve.
It's very
Ooh.
subtle.
We
Look at
played on the
this.
curved monitors at Epicenter, and that made me want to get them. You know that LAN cafe
Yeah.
they had them?
Yeah, that thing was awesome.
The best part about Epicenter was the after party, where instead of being at the after party, everyone just went downstairs and
They
played
had like a
Dota.
giant LAN cafe.
Yeah,
Wow. Ben almost made us miss our flight
really.
because I had to like drag him away from his pub game.
Him and
he was real upset because he
him and
didn't
Jack
get to finish
are the
it.
two people that are most obsessed with
Guys,
Dota that I
I've
know.
got a Sennheiser survey.
Oh, and
Below
we
the
have a
stream,
Sennheiser
remember,
survey
to
on the
vote.
stream asking which team are you rooting for. You can go below the stream, guys, if you would like to participate. Just use the Twitch extension.
Dude,
Which team are you
hashtag
rooting
green wall.
The green wall is high right now. Look at this. Woo.
They might be newcomers to Dota, but you wouldn't know it.
A lot of
They
them-
brought a big fan base.
They did. A lot of them are just like, I have no idea what's happening. I am COD player.
Dude,
Teach
I
me.
love that.
I
Teach
watched
me
the-
Dota.
Yeah, but they actually want to learn the
No,
game.
they're
That's
serious.
that's what's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, is Peter supposed to be this bad or something? Like, what's happening here?
Why is Peter's net worth
Why is
at
Peter
the
the
bottom?
lowest net worth? I thought he was good. Didn't he win TI?
Should they boot PPD? I mean, if you're a COD player, is constantly bottom fragging, you're out.
My favorite thing was Misery's tweet after he left the team. He's like, 2 hours later after being announced not on the team, he's lost like 500 Twitter followers or something. They just
Yeah, like what other team would that happen with actually?
I don't
Dude,
know.
I saw the COD World Finals or whatever, like recently, or some like MLG event that they
Mhm.
were playing at, and when they were playing, stream had like tons of viewers. It was like 200K or something. And then for the grand finals for that event, after they got eliminated, spoiler, it went
Quarter
from
of
like
the
200.
viewers.
It was like 50,000 for the grand finals. That's like how dedicated their fan base
The
is.
not so grand.
Well, a lot of them
Yeah.
have been like the top for a very long time. OpTic's been
Yeah.
winning for so long. Like Scump, that guy's a monster. Like,
They
he
won
has
like
a huge fan base.
Arturo told me they won like the TI of COD or whatever.
Yeah.
So they're like a pretty big
And
org.
all the people like behind the org have like millions of followers too. Like they're just a big family.
Yeah.
Hashtag green wall.
Hashtag green wall.
Well, we're into the draft now, gentlemen. OpTic Gaming versus compLexity BO3. Game 1 underway.
Look at these.
Wyvern
openers.
first pick by OpTic. Instant reply here. The Ench sneaks out for compLexity. They'll
Yep.
combine it with the Slardar.
It's been banned versus them a lot of the games, so I can understand the Ench pick. The Slardar one is the one that's a bit of
Yeah.
a question mark
I
to
think
me.
I think a lot of times you'd see Ench Slaughter and feel like, oh, it reveals that this is your 3 and the 4, but Cole's the one team who will put Kyle on like a 5-position Slaughter. Like
Yeah.
5-position Slaughter, Sand King. We've seen him play like all kinds of weird 5-position heroes, so they're so flexible. This could be their 4 and their 5, could be their 3 and 4, could be their 3 and their 5.
I'm almost wondering if they literally just picked the Slaughter first too because they're on Dire's side and they want to go for Roche's. Like, I don't see any other reason why you'd pick Slaughter into Wyvern like that. They want to just have that potential just go into the Roche pit.
It's a good pairing
one point.
too. Wyvern Slardar.
What? Against Wyvern. Or you think that they stole it from...
I think it's a possibility.
You think
too.
it's a block pick?
Yeah, because Wyvern Slardar.
Fair enough.
And they should kind of know that OpTic is going to first pick that. So you should be prepped for this. If you did a ton of like band pick practice the night before.
I guess if you banned out like Ogre and Bane and stuff too, like their only
Yeah.
real like options left would be that Slaughter with Wyvern.
I was like,
Okay.
they should kind of understand like Wyvern for both sides is very heavily picked. It's a really nice hero for OpTic, and it's even better. Like compLexity, when they win games, they seem to pick this all the time.
E.G. Colo's first pick 2 of the games, maybe all 3.
Yeah.
It was in almost all those games, I want to say.
So you kind of understand like there's some logic there. It's like, okay, well, OpTic also plays it, so they can take it. well, that leaves us with the possibility like, what do we have to do to counter it if we're in the side of being first pick, and if it's not, then it probably if they're first pick, if complexity is, then it probably changes things like very slightly in the sense that like you can work your way around it because you don't think they'll give it to you, and maybe instead of banning puck, they ban the wyvern and instead you take puck, and it goes on and on.
Yeah, they set up for the wyvern pick pretty well as you like look back at their bans. Two of the biggest nukers that are popular in this patch, and the AA with the Ice Blast to counter the Cold Embrace. So Cole don't really have great answers right now for the wyvern, but we'll see what they do with these next 3 picks. So we wrap up the bans. The DOTA will be removed. No DOTA, no Morphling yet.
Thank God. It still could be a Morphling.
You're like, I'm not going to let myself relax just yet.
DOTA games are funny.
Are they?
Yeah,
Funny.
I think they're like.
You said this with very little enthusiasm.
No. It's because I'm sick.
funny.
But
Mhm.
if I could muster up more of just like speaking super deep, so I
I'm
don't know the
imagining
reviewers.
you being excited about
Yeah,
the
Yay.
DOTA pick.
I like DOTA games because it's like, can you kill the raid boss? Can you not kill the raid boss?
We won't get to see it because the Morphling is banned and the DOTA is banned. Something fresh is coming out.
Good.
Like Luna.
Like Luna. Let's go.
Yes.
Luna's
Oh.
fun.
Yeah, Luna's actually quite enjoyable to watch. Fast-paced hero.
I just want to see Cole go back to their old ways. Where's the Conka Kyle? Conka Kyle was great.
Kunkel,
Kunkel?
Was it?
Kunkel?
I saw them
Kunkel?
lose like 4 games with it.
But it was fun.
the Kenkel.
Again, it is fun.
Banning up Moose Hero, so expecting the Kyle Slater with the Tide and Omni bans.
That's like somewhat of a reasonable expectation here.
Do you guys like the 5 slaughter?
So, I mean, its job is really... Because when you're playing a 5, you're not going to get that Blink Dagger at any kind of a good time, so it really is to help you secure Roche. Like, your ultimate is a big key reason to pick the hero. Cole really like having 2 roamers as well, rather than like a static lane support.
Then you really ideally want another reliable initiator to go with the Slardar.
That's a Shadow Fiend with the Slaughter, so the minus armor and the raises versus the Wyvern can be nice, but Tusk is very good at roaming versus Shadow Fiend early, and OpTic sees SF this early on.
I guess that's where having Slater Ench is good, though, against that, because you've got 2 heroes who can roam to match Tusk. It's not like you've got 1 hero to deal with Tusk, it's like both your heroes are going to be active on the map.
So we'll probably see like tri-lane mid by Cole for a while, or like just moving around that area.
They need a safe laner who doesn't need much help, most likely, but that's often kind of Cole's way, just leave their safe laner a bit alone.
So what does OpTic want here?
I'm not sure. Maybe you take. You could take CC0.
Yeah, they already see the opposing mid.
Yeah, you see the opposing mid, but maybe I think in this spot they often take Zeiss, and they try to give Quinn like the best possible overall game matchup.
They've usually been 5th picking his hero or getting him like DOTA.
Yeah,
Do you think
Deuce is
something
pretty
like-
much a 5th pick.
Do you think something like Clockwork could come out? They've ran it on his eye before. It's very good versus Slaughter and Shadow Fiend.
It is. It's not bad versus Enchantress either.
Yeah. I think the Clockwork's a good option here.
I'm trying to think of the other ones that are any decent.
Trying to think what Zai's been playing recently. He's been playing so many different heroes.
Yeah, he had a Beastmaster game.
Okay, so they do just choose Quinn's hero.
Ooh. Yeah, so a lot of pressure on the Shadow Fiend too.
Yeah, Tusquap. This is a very, very kill emphasized lane.
Probably
setup.
means we see Quinn on like a hard carry, though, now, with the quad pickup.
Pycat, right?
Pycat, yeah, sorry. Yeah.
I would think something like a Lone Druid he could even be put on in this game. But they do have Slardar and SF. You can kind of melt the bear.
That was what, we saw with Cole versus EG when they had the Slater lineup against.
Yeah.
He was like afraid to leave the base.
Yeah.
His bear was just dying instantly as
not
soon as it was
safe.
seen.
That was Slater SF, I think, together.
I think
that
it was.
game,
Yep.
The more I think about this Wyvern pick, the more I like it. Now you're forced to like take something like Gyro on the side of Cole. Because you can't take... Like, Wyvern's really getting into heroes like CK and stuff. The ones that complexity like.
Radiant team pick.
Oh, that puts Entra Slater off.
So it is
probably
the,
Ench.
the
yeah.
core Slardar here? Or you're thinking Ench
Ench
off white?
probably, but I had to say.
Wow.
Could be either, really.
Ooh.
Batrider pickup. Great hero versus Enchantress.
It gives
If it's a
Cole
core.
or OpTic the option of going aggro as well.
No real counter for the lasso, obviously, at this point. So, aside from a really timely silence, I suppose.
Yeah.
So this SF is going to have to mind his positioning.
5 seconds.
A lot of ways to interrupt the Requiem and team fights.
I think complexity should take Weaver.
Agreed. Something that can just own the bat in a 1v1.
It's also there's not a lot of control on the side of OpTic. And Cole was second pick, right?
Radiant team ban.
Cole
Yes.
were second pick.
Yeah, so they should have last overall.
They do, yeah.
Yeah. I actually think, yeah, I think Weaver for complexity. Depending on, of course, what optics.
What's the pie cat hero?
10 seconds remaining.
I mean, Gyro's the one that kind of stands out, but you can get
5 seconds remaining.
Gyro hates getting physical damage like jumped on
Yeah.
by heroes like Slardar. Like Slardar's really nice against Gyro. You just melt his armor. pop
Same
on him.
time you're against like a Ench
Yeah,
off
the
lane
Ench
theoretically, or it's a Slada with an Ench roaming, so you need to hear maybe like a Gyro that can fight the Ench,
Yeah.
or at least a hero that's hard to kill. They maybe want the Weaver. That's a hero that at least doesn't die to that lane. But
Radiant team
they ban Weaver. They would
Jug or something, maybe? Oh, they take
Okay.
PL. Oh, man. It's complicated now, because you took the other counter to
The bat.
the bat.
Yeah.
Bust out that Slark.
Field seems like a really good pick. That's like one of the heroes that doesn't melt to these Slada physical damage lineups because you can always get the haze off of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you want someone ideally who doesn't need help against Bat
5 seconds remaining.
in the lane and also can give you a counter to lasso later on. But
I think you're kind of forced into Gyro here.
Play Life Stealer? Life Stealer seems alright.
It's rough against Wyvern, though.
Wyvern Tusk, both BKB,
Yeah.
BKB
That's true.
disables through the rage. You just
Even the
punch
PL.
him and or curse him and he can't
Just-
do anything. And then yeah,
the
PL.
PL's pretty awful.
Yeah. I think you take Gyro here, but it's a bit reluctant.
Or they go for some random Cole thing, right? Where they just put Jesse on more of a space maker.
Yeah.
But still, like, I don't know. Something totally new. I want to see another Wraith King. We saw Envy play the Wraith King carry. That's a fun hero.
Mm-hmm.
Broodmother.
Super YOLO and just pick like Axe.
Yeah.
Just run at people.
All right. What is it for complexity? It's a Drow.
Drow range.
Drow SF. All right. This is almost the lineup they did against EG. They had a first 2 pick on the Drow then.
This looks. Oh, Saxa has the
actually-
Saxa has the set. Yes.
A lot of ways to jump this Drow, though. Got-
I think they dodged. The Drow's probably going to try dodge the Bat's lane and they do the Ench versus the Bat, do you think? Or they just stick with Drow safe lane? Because Drow just does not have fun against Bat in lane.
Nor does Inch, though.
Yeah,
I
that's a
think
good
they,
point either.
I
Both
think they
heroes
have to
struggle.
put the Drow mid or Drow safe lane.
Yeah.
I think that's just the best setup because then they can actually pressure a bit versus Pycat with Enchantress.
True.
So triple ranged core on Cole.
Definitely ways for them to have a great early game.
Overall thoughts here on the draft, guys? We didn't really get your predictions before it, but
Whew.
now seems like as good a time as any.
I'm liking this Phantom Lancers game.
Yeah. It feels like Cole have a super volatile draft. Like there's very little room for error, and if they lose a fight or something, Optic's gonna. They've just got the more stable draft. They've got this bat with no good counters. It's a great PL game. The roaming supports can set up a lot for Queen of Pain, so it feels like Optic have a much easier time to execute their draft.
They don't take Roche or buildings very well on Optic though in comparison. Cole at least has that really going for them. They take buildings, they take Roche, while Optic's gonna have to just go through for kills into Roches, or into objectives.
Have you guys all said Optic?
Unclear.
Well, Giannis tried to say OG earlier, which we shut that down.
I'm gonna go with the NA team here, guys.
I'm going to go with...
I'm going Optic.
You're going Optic? Gods?
I'm gonna go Optic too.
Eldiz?
I gotta go optic.
Alright. Well, I thought this was going to be the ride or die couch.
Oh, do you want to ride or die together?
I think we should ride or die.
I will
together.
flip flop onto your ride or die.
Okay.
How's that sound?
Guys, we're going with complexity, even though I think it's unlikely.
Oh, I thought you were gonna ride or die. Like all 4 of us are
No,
gonna
no, no,
ride or
no,
die.
no.
Like,
This is
I
the
was-
real ride or die
Oh,
crew.
shit,
So
I mean, they've got the ride or die lineup, you know.
This is the real ride or die crew.
Yeah.
I think if Cole doesn't get this Roche, if they don't get like that Roche sneak like they did the other
Yeah.
day, I think they're in trouble.
This is
game.
the fantasy football winning crew right here.
I don't play that game.
11th place right here. Potential first right here.
I have lost several great players this season, but
It
I'm
happens,
still
man.
battling on.
Yeah, keep kicking.
Valat is killing our league.
I'm almost 90% sure that Vlad doesn't watch football.
The one CIS player is crushing our American football.
He's actually,
league.
yeah. We can't even win on the NA home turf
Yeah,
at our own game.
It's embarrassing. He watches like 8 sports and he's still beating
Yeah.
us at this one.
Vlad takes any trade you give him, and yet
And
he's
still
still
winning.
kicking the shit out of us.
Sounds like you guys need to go play some like Russian fantasy hockey leagues or something with Vlad, and then you'll beat him at that.
Oh yeah, I'm sure we'll do great in those. All right, well let's get into it, guys. We've got OpTic versus compLexity and a Dota showdown coming your way. BO3 winner will move on. Faces either EG or OG. Whoever wins the next series for that final slot in the playoffs tomorrow. Dota Summit 8 action continuing right here, right now. So looking at the lanes, it looks like we're going to see a 2-1-2 setup from compLexity.
They're actually putting the offlane Drow instead of safe lane because of the bat. They just don't want this Tusk bat to just run over him, but OpTic.
They're still getting the bat, it looks like.
No, they're switching around again.
Has OpTic
Yep.
outthought themselves, perhaps? See Zai going top. Bring the PL down bottom.
They'd prefer to sack the inch.
Maybe they're thinking to themselves, well, if Ench gets a good creep, and if you have safe lane, theoretically it's okay.
It's still hard. You still get ran at. But you do better, of course.
Yeah, I mean, Dro doesn't like it any better.
Yeah.
It feels like it comes down to like Earth Spirit or Slatus showing up to get a kill or two on this Bat Rider, because in a pure 1v1, Bat's going to win either of those matchups.
It's going to have to come down to, Limp's got to have to do like a ton of heavy lifting this game.
Did CCNC just gave away that he has that ward, right? Or that he has a ward in the mid lane
Yeah.
with that Shadow Strike?
Guess it's on his side, so it doesn't really, probably doesn't feel it's going to get dewarded.
We're going to
Yeah.
see potentially a try on try here bottom.
I love me some tri lanes. OpTic has a good poke lineup. Throw lances, use OpTic burn, get people low, burn their regen, and then engage afterwards.
Kyle might not even need to burn the region. They might just go straight for the kill here. Rolling in. His brother tries to bail him out.
Brother save.
Not the first time we've seen that.
This does not feel like a very strong aggro tri lane by compLexity, to be honest, though.
Oh boy.
And you can see the other lanes are not going to be easy either. You've got an SF versus Quap 1v1 and a Ench versus Bat 1v1. 2 lanes in theory. OpTic.
He's doing great though.
Maybe
He might
get
even
a
get first
win
blood.
though.
He's gonna get first
Zai
blood.
may go down here. His Moo baits him in. One more auto attack.
Oh, he's got
with
this.
the creep. He gets the
Orb of
kill.
Venom. Orb of Venom first item.
The
I love it.
Uvench.
Yeah.
This is
That's
some
sexy.
god stuff.
Yeah, that's the item build. You get the boots from Side Shop.
Well, if you can kite him, you know, then he's not that scary.
Yeah, Zai just overcommits a little bit too much. Doesn't realize like how much damage he's taking.
Yeah.
Bat Rider's not that fast of a hero. Like all these mobility heroes have really shit-based move speed because they have the ability to literally fly.
It feels like he rushed going for that kill and aggression too early.
Agreed.
Like you need to get the levels. Like you're gonna lose the CS for battle for like the first 2 or 3 waves, but that's honestly not that big of a problem for a bat who has huge kill potential on the edge. He just needs to be more patient.
You have huge kill potential. You can always you push the lane in because you have your sticky and your firefly, and then you can stack the camps and you farm extra because of that. You don't have to rush those kind of kills as a bat in these lanes.
I imagine the problem was Ench was just trading hits with him from level 1, and Ench is going to win that battle.
Yes.
Like with the Orb of Venom, you're going to get harassed a ton, so he wanted to go for the kill.
Oh, nice.
Trust here by Chessie, and now the follow-up smash from Z-Freak, but still Chessie on the run. They continue pursuit, rolling away. Soxa will get back. Let's see the threat, though. compLexity already down to about half health on all 3 of these heroes.
Plus the drawer, he probably didn't anticipate like getting hit by that much.
Yeah.
I like this move though by Cole. Going aggro. They're just slowing down Pyket's game a little bit.
These gusts are lane saving, honestly.
Yeah. And SF, if you notice, is not doing that bad mid. It's not going to be pleasant for a little bit, but there's a curve out point with the new Shadow Fiend where like level 5 against Queen of Pain, she's almost always in potential due to attack range that you get double raised. And the new double raise like hurts. You actually just straight up die as Quab.
Especially with the Drow.
Yeah, exactly. So this lane matchup is normally really one-sided, but with Draw Aura plus the new raise damage, like there's actually potential for this to be a decent one-on-one. And so compLexity are getting 3, I'd say, advantageous lanes. Like if you look at it, the Drow's not even that far behind the PL. And the Ench is tops of the game because of the start that she's had.
Any adjustments you guys want to see out of OpTic here? Or are you just content, wait for your mid game?
I think the nature of the aggro trialing is you can't adjust your lanes. You're forced to keep 3 heroes in that bottom lane, or Cole's going to get kills. If
Oh
you,
no.
Well, looks like bottom there is action breaking out. Pycat in the thick of it. Does get crushed. Good stun there by Kyle, but still Chessie, patient on the stick. And now Pycat pursuing him out. Saksa also chasing, and looks like OpTic again thwarted.
Nice
They,
raindrop
they
pick
keep
up.
on catching heroes, but they just can't finish them off.
If you notice at top 2, Bat has no mana. So he made his like one big aggressive move. He's had to buy bottle to try to sustain this, and then you get another go of it. But at bottom, like they wasted through a lot of regen as well. LD, we're doing it.
You guys are doing it. The laning phase.
Still very early days here, though. Another
Yes.
shards coming through.
I mean, these, look at these gusts.
The gust
honestly.
has been
Double damage.
critical to
Yeah.
keep complexity in this lane.
I think they would have died several times if they didn't have
Oh
it.
no,
Wait,
now
Ench
Ench
is
is
6? Oh no, Bat's gotta go.
this top lane's pretty hardcore loss by OpTic.
Yeah,
And
agreed.
I think bottom and mid are going okay for them. Like, yeah, Quap's going to start to struggle against the level 5 SF, but everything up till now has worked out fine. The question is, can they now rotate their supports while just maybe giving PL an even tougher lane to find it? Because they need to find a kill either on the Ench or in the mid lane.
Yeah, I think they have. That's the thing is they have much easier natural kills, right? They can just either Tusk snowball onto the SF or the Wyvern can come from behind with some slow and Quap with 6. That's pretty easy frags onto the SF.
Well-
Well, on the opposite, it's a little bit harder.
The thing though about going aggro is like, it's so much more obvious
Yes.
when the other two supports. If people just vanish out of the lane, it becomes a lot more conspicuous.
What you see more often is a hero like Quap will then rotate down bottom
Yeah.
instead. Like, you can't rotate your supports without being obvious. Quap can quickly TP, blink in, and you've got a 4v3 with level 6 Queen of Pain, and you're going to get 2-3 kills bottom if you get a good rotation.
CCNC trying to
look
duke
at
it out
that.
here with Limp, but the raise
That was only
damage,
2 of the raises that hit too.
far too much.
Yeah. She
Already-
has raindrops too.
Yep. They're trying to break those raindrops off of Chessie.
Yeah.
Keep that spam going. He's actually out of raindrop now.
See complexity starting to pull into the lead here with that early first blood that Mu got, and the Shadow Fiend getting his levels now. CS wise, they are even with the Quap, slightly ahead. The Drow's not CSing particularly well, but you know she is offlane. She's not dying, which is the main thing.
Yeah. Not getting the best levels either. You've got this full-on tri-lane sharing experience. You normally want to try and get level 6 as fast as possible on the hero, but ultimately the lane win is enough there.
Freak leaving the lane. They can't even like do anything down here. And now new raindrops
That-
delivered on the Drow. So he's
yeah.
actually using the Drow's using a lot of her gold just to be surviving and on
There's
top.
the rotation.
First lasso commitment here as they try to bring down Mu. 3 heroes on the Ench. And they will get the kill.
Yep.
So nice movement by OpTic.
I think it's just it's much easier natural movements for them to get these kills. Cole has to make these ganks work perfectly for themselves when
Yeah.
they do go for them.
It's concerning for a Drow having to buy that second raid drops this early on. That's
Yeah.
almost 500 gold being spent just to be able to lane, and you're already not dominate. Like, you're losing CS to a PL.
Yep. Too much spam. I mean, Spirit Lance plus just Wyvern is actually so much
Already
damage.
down to three charges on it. Like, I mean, without it, you're just dead. Like, that time they went on him and he got low, he would have died without the
Yeah.
raindrops there. So you have to have it if you want to stay in this bottom lane. And I think the problem is you can't go top because it's a Bat Rider. The only other option is to fall back into the jungle, which you kind of want level 6 for.
Well, now the
going
pressure
for
is
Mu.
starting to ramp up from OpTic, but Zai has to respect these imps. Sigil's going to
that's an SF.
limit what Mu
Wow.
can do. They force the SF to TP out, and that does give the Queen of Pain a free lane mid. So OpTic's starting to play with complexity and
Dire's middle
This
tower
drag them around the map at their whim. They'll try to make a move here on PPD. Good roll in from Z-Freak. Gets off the silence. Boulder Smash coming through, and the Wyvern will go down. No save available. So complexity getting on the board. First kill of the game.
It always feels
only
like
a support.
the biggest thing for mid lane is that Quap's getting all these runes. Like, she has much higher rotation potential because she's got Blink from the mid lane, will get every single rune, and the Arcane rune led to a gank top. She's able to just trade hits, take a couple raises because she knows she's always getting these runes because Cole's supports have not really moved around the map. You're looking at Earth Spirit Slaughter, it feels like these heroes can't actually roam because they have to just continue to secure that bottom lane.
That's what happens when you go aggro trialing with the Drow, or a hero like Drow.
Yeah.
Because you have to stay with that hero. If you leave her, she's just going to die to this aggression from OpTic. I like
Keep on
the
pressuring Moo here up top. Does have the heal.
Lasso.
Still diving him with the lasso. The TP forced out by Swindles. He's going to head towards that top lane. As Kyle moves in, OpTic backing off.
If he
A
gets the
crush
stun,
here
he's
should
dead.
get the Zai
Oh
kill,
no,
but
he went the wrong way.
he guesses wrong, and looks like Zai might make it out. Yep, should be okay with the shards.
I actually like the choice of going for the arcane boots on Zai. I think if they're going to be going for the kills like that, like always making sure that your Tusk or whoever else comes to the lane will have that mana for the gank.
As soon as that TP happens now, OpTic can now threaten to kill on bottom. So that's in some ways still okay for OpTic. They know this Drow doesn't have that one extra support. Or Spirit definitely doesn't want to move out of this lane.
And they can't pressure PL is the big. I think also like
Yeah.
there's no way that Drow or Spirit or even Drow or Spirit Slaughter can really pressure PL in this lane.
Should compLexity just stick with the lanes here? Do you guys want to see any adjustments at this point? They've been mostly reacting to OpTic.
I think Drow can go jungle at level 6 if he really wants to farm. Start sitting on that ancient cliff and just farm away.
I think he should. I think the Drow should leave bottom as well.
Yeah.
I think it's a little bit too scary.
Bottom I mean, that's the thing. There's no lane to go to, which is where the jungle just seems like an okay place to be. Give the lane to the Earth Spirit so he can get his level 6.
Moo is roasting here. Snowball coming through. Ice and fire combined, and the shards blocking off the path. 5 napalm stacks up, and he will go down. OpTic get the second kill here. The Ench the Wonder has been pressured pretty much all game since that great start.
Yeah. And she had the #1 net worth, and killing her is a lot of golden experience for OpTic there.
Level 10 Shadow Fiend already. It's a good gain for Cole.
Yep.
It's a lot of damage so if you can get into with those raises now. That spell lamp.
How early do you like Fog? You mentioned the Courts of the Roche here for complexity. Like how early can they go for it?
Are they gonna get the full combo here or not?
Oh, they'll get CCNC. Nicely done.
They didn't get the blink off.
Maybe losing Z Freak as the trade. The Earth Spirit will go down a little more chip damage from OpTic, but a crucial core kill, something they haven't been able to find up until now.
I think the Roche, as you were saying, though, I think it's going to take them a bit this game because the Drow is so underfarmed and underleveled. But
She's got the book.
I think ideally before that 25-minute mark, probably before that even, but
Radiant's middle tower
I
is
could Drow
under
the
attack.
tome.
I would like OpTic to defend this bottom area from the double
Dire's
catapult.
top tower is under
It's a full
attack.
HP tower.
Yeah, Moo has gone straight for the drums here. Very tanky Ench.
very moo.
Very Moo.
Jumps on every hero.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
He was contesting that notion, I think, a day or two ago, and then people start going through the list of heroes. He's like, yeah, drums is good on that hero too. Oh, you have to get drums on that hero. All of a sudden, you've gone through like 8 heroes. It's like, yeah, I pretty much built drums on everyone.
They did rotate down. This is a good rotation.
They are going to look to defend this bottom lane. Maybe get some kills as well. Chessie punched up, low, and will fall. Moo, though, getting cursed. Wasn't able to find the PPD kill. Now they can turn their attention back for the Ench, but she is tanky. They'll need some magic damage to bring her down, and they have it.
Tower is under attack.
complexity get punished.
She melted.
That gets the bat his blink.
That was
Gives
such a
OpTic
lazy
even
move.
more kill potential.
That was such a lazy move. Like, you notice that the PL doesn't immediately run top, which is Radiant's normal play. It's a full HP bottom tower, and they see your push coming from a mile away,
Radiant's
and you have a
middle
Bat Rider
tower
on your
is
side.
under attack.
Like, I thought Zai just TPs down there, and he Fireflies in. Like, what did they do? They have no kill potential on him until they get Blink Dagger on Slardar. So,
I think Cole has to play around the Shadow Fiend now.
yeah.
It's the
Wouldn't it
only
be
way
better
to
if,
bring it back in?
if Dro just hits that jungle camp, the Ancients,
Yep.
and Ench can rotate down there, and if they go to kill her, then your Dro just runs up top.
I think
And
they
if
had
they
a
go match.
couple different options. I think, like you said, that was a very awful, like awkward play because they have to like do it with just 2 heroes. They bring Ench and Drow Ranger down there. Like that doesn't even seem like a real push, right?
Yeah. If the tower's at like half health, sure, you have double catapult. Like maybe you can make this work. But that's a full HP, completely untouched 1300 HP tower. Like you're just gonna die for it. That play only works if that tower's already at like 600 health, and it takes too much to rotate to save a dead tower. But it sets you back so much now. Like look at the middle net worths. Like sure the SF's on top, but like he alone can't win this game for you.
They have a lot of control for a farmed SF. The Wyvern ult, the Bat, the Tusk, who can also kite him a lot in fights.
Just being able to get on top of SF, especially because you're just kind of squishy.
And,
These- all
and
these
Complexity
heroes-
don't have like a big save hero to
Yeah.
turn the fights around if the SF gets jumped.
They have the word for the drow jungling, so they actually know where the drow is if they want to either go for a pickoff or set up somewhere else on the map.
Oh, this is a weakness of the Complexity draft. Like, they can't really make the plays until they get that Slardar blink, which is, I mean, maybe not all that far off. Kyle at 2200 net worth here, but still a bit. They'll try to make a move forward onto CC&C.
Top tower is under attack.
Kyle's got to be careful here. You can just get bursted.
They're gonna dive deep for Soxa. Silence comes through. Kyle with the crush, but the follow-up damage is lacking as the Sigil gets him back to safety. And now the lasso opportunity, looking to drive the Shadow Fiend right over the cliff, and he will pop quickly blown up. They need some retaliation here. They'll get Zai, but they've lost their SF. Really the key frontline DPS hero, and meanwhile Pycat's grabbing a free tier 1 top.
I'm liking OpTic's movements a lot more in this game. I think it comes a lot more natural to them, and I think that they have these two elusive cores that makes Cole's like style and gameplay a little bit awkward now, because they want to be able to get these kills like you said, but they can't. They just don't have the catch for them just yet, unless it's perfect with a gust on top.
And with Diffusal coming on PL, OpTic get even scared. They can actually fight with this item now and easily chase down Drow, SF, Slada. No full stop pickups or anything like that.
If you just take like 1 or 2 good fights on the side of OpTic, it just kills Cole's momentum.
Big silence. Can they follow it up? Looking for the crush, but the flame break back prevents it. Kyle not going to be able to lock the Queen of Pain down, and with that, another missed gank for Complexity.
And that's exactly what we were talking about
Very
there.
difficult to execute these.
Yeah.
I mean, give Zai credit, great play, but it
has to
does
be-
also show how difficult it is for Call.
Yeah, it has to be like perfect for them to get those type of kills. They have to have the SF or the Drow in range. The Drow, of course, for the Gust, and the SF at least for the damage. Just one of the 2 big cores on top of the Earth Spirit and Slardar, which isn't usually the ideal. You want to be able to gank with just one of those support heroes, not always needing both.
And none of their 3 cores have like initiation or kill potential in
Yeah.
that sense. Like they have damage output, but they need the setup from the support. Supports who don't have blinks.
This could be the start of a bottom push
There we
now.
go.
Good smoke by Complexity. They'll get that kill.
They should go
On
mid.
Soxa. Let's see where they go next. Hunting through the trees. Kyle wants PPD. Can he find him? PPD flapping away. He senses something is not right here, and he hides in the trees. Meanwhile, mid being pressured. OpTic gonna look to take this tier 1, and Moo will get jumped as well. Lasso coming through. The whole team still bottom. Still trying to get that first tower, and Moo in a lot of danger here. The heal, though, keep him alive a long time. Boulder Smash coming through. They get off the corrosive phase. Can they bring this Bat Rider down? The imps just keep coming in, and Moo reigns in the damage, but they lose Kyle in return, and the tower will drop. Both mid for the Dire as well as bottom for the Radiant.
You know, I was just actually in the car with Adam, the coach for Fnatic, and he was literally saying it's really tough to play versus Pycat because he doesn't make these crazy type of plays. Like, he doesn't go for these risky moves. Like there, he's like, oh, I could commit for the Ench, but there's a high chance of me dying. So instead, you see Pycat backs up, and he literally just goes for the tower there rather than risking his life. So I think that was actually a really good play by Pycat in general for himself.
That's 2 really big Roshan towers now that OpTic have taken down, top and mid. So
Lots
make
of-
it harder for Complexity to walk into the pit.
Tons of vision too. Look at that. They have wards on both sets of Ancients. They have wards watching the jungle movements as well.
4 wards up.
Yeah. Just trying to close the map off a bit and give themselves better opportunities to split push with the quad PL.
It's really hard now to play this game without your mid tower on the side of Cole. Like, this Bat Rider has a really nice game now. So does this PL. Like, PL just takes over your jungle. You don't feel like you can play Dota as well. Because your Slardar now isn't going to get Blink Dagger unless that you get objectives. But going 5-man against this Bat Rider is so scary. You'll just die.
Yeah, Zai's been doing a very good job this game on the bat. Finding pick after pick.
I think that dive mid was a bit too ambitious, though.
I agree.
Like, if they just hit the mid tower, doesn't it just die?
Yeah, I think that like he secured it though, right? I guess any forced reactions. I thought that he wouldn't go all the way in either for it, but I thought Pycat's decision just like stay back was the best thing there.
Wait up.
Yeah, learn their lesson from last time and not going to go for a lasso there.
Yeah. They ideally want the Tusk so she can't run away afterwards. Gets that extra lockdown.
This Ench with 4 stuff is very difficult to kill. It's like
Yeah.
probably the lowest priority as far as who you want to initiate on for the Bat Rider, unless you know you've got the burst killer.
So So I guess for Cole, their next big timing would be this SF BKB, so they can actually play around him better without him just getting bursted by all the magic damage that OpTic has.
SF is level 15 with the BKB now. That's
Yeah,
a very big SF.
definitely has a good timing window.
Kind of a feels bad BKB though. You know, you
Yeah.
you
had to
pop
go so
it and then
early.
you're probably getting cursed or lassoed or both.
Or punched if while you're Requiem. There's
punched,
so many
yeah.
different ways to stop the Requiem from being channeled.
The one
And with the Drow kind of where she is, it basically means if the SF's being controlled, it's only the Ench dishing out damage.
I think he almost needs it though. Like, what else can he really go? He can't get involved in fights without that BKB, which is, like you said, a bit of a feels bad one.
Gonna try to make a move here, but the Yule Scepter. Now a crush coming through. Follow up from Z-Freak, looking to lock this Queen of Pain down, and CCNC will be punished.
she yields the Slaughter there, but not to know in the moment.
Yeah. It's a good positioning. At least if Z-Freak doesn't roll in there at that exact moment, that kill's not happening.
Yeah.
It might be a tower now. This could open things up for complexity. Starting to get back in this game. Get a little momentum. Looks like the tier 1 mid will drop. No signs of a defense for OpTic. 30 seconds with no Queen of Pain and no buyback.
They got, I mean, but we did say though, that Cole's lineup takes
They're
Roche
going straight.
incredibly fast.
Roche. Complexity. Rolling the dice a little bit here, but it looks like this might well pay off. Will OpTic fight? They move into position towards the pit. Soxa from the north, but Kyle scouting 2 of them out. They
Didn't
know
haze it, so they're killing it very slowly.
OpTic is coming, but there was a Radiant scan there, I believe, for a split second, and now Complexity getting off the 2-hero curse. Shadow Fiend taking some heavy damage. The shards come through, blocking the path left to BKB Requiem on nothing, just to make it back to safety.
Ooh.
They should chase.
Yeah, they should. I mean,
They have a
should
Blink
chase.
Lasso.
Yeah,
They're going to
they're
find the
gonna find
Drow. Reeling Chessie back in. No saves available. Nothing really. It's like goes for the TP out the Yules to interrupt it. And Chessie likely to go down. Meanwhile, up near the shrine, action also break out. But the PL has an escape plan. Jumps back to safety. And the Roche denied. OpTic going to try for it themselves, it seems.
they don't kill it that great. I guess Phantom Lancer's decent now, the illusions, but
I'm not sure if this is worth a
comparison.
commitment without battle.
yeah, I'm not really too liking of that.
They just have to protect it. Because that area is technically theirs, because they still have their top tower. And they know that Cold probably don't have a shrine up. Actually, I think Pycat saw that they used the shrine. Plus SF ult was used. Like, they should be the team saying, like, no rush. We should win this late game. We have the better core matchup in the PL. The draw will fall off.
They have all their ult. They still have Sonic Wave, so they can still go for these kind of pickoffs with their wards that we were talking about before. They see the SF.
They have that vision. Limps BKB. Still a few seconds until it cools down, and he might not even have a chance to get it off as the bat jumps in. Flame breaks him back. Lip just gets roasted down. You see how quick he dies without the BKB. OpTic. Big kill on a core there.
This is actually a pretty tough lineup
The
to play
core.
as a Shadow Fiend, because they have so many poke and prod abilities. They force your BKB, and then you actually can't really go into the fights well. It's like one lance, a sonic, a scream, maybe like a couple spells from the
OpTic
Tusk.
dancing around the pit, but they're not actually going for the roast. They're catching Complexity heroes fleeing, kind of roaming around the neighborhood. Z-Freak gonna be next as OpTic continues to gain steam here.
They've got Medallion now on the Tusk. This is where they can actually go for the Roche.
I don't know how Complexity contests this, gentlemen. It's just, well, they're not even going to get there in time, it looks like. 3 heroes all the way towards bottom.
They still don't have this slide blink, so Cole's initiation is so lackluster. They're entirely relying on Z-Freak to get like a roll in with a silent stun.
And even then, OpTic still has everything available.
Yeah.
Their full arsenal.
I think that's why Kyle didn't want to haze up Roche last time, because he had an invis ring. He actually had a way to initiate because he found an invis, so he's thinking like, look, better than maybe this Roche is risky, let's try and get a setup for a kill, but his team just weren't really there to follow up the crush on Wyvern.
It looks like he got antsy.
Well,
Yeah, he did.
I think his invis was running out too.
yeah.
Well, the issue is his team's in the pit, and the way the Roche pit
Yeah.
is structured, you can't actually get to where he, as close as his team were, they can't blink over that wall. They have to go like all the way, loop around to get to him. So
The only one who can join him is Earth Spirit, you know,
Yeah.
and they're not going to get a kill with those two.
They needed that Roshan so badly.
Yeah.
Like, that was their counter to Bat ult, was that if you have SF with Aegis, he can't really get jumped, or he doesn't care too much, because he'll just respawn BKB ult. But now that they don't have it, like, I don't know. This is really tough for Complexity to win at this point. Like,
Playing
their
with-
lineup's running out of steam.
Yeah. Playing with the Drow lineup. not only not getting the first Roche, but the enemy team taking it at that 20-something minute mark, that crucial period.
The two heroes that also were winning their lanes, it felt like Shadow Fiend pulling ahead of the Queen of Pain and the Ench killing the Bat early. They've both been shut down here, so OpTic have fully assumed control of the game now. They get into the Dire jungle. They're also going to catch Z-Freak on what looks like a warding mission. Punish him.
Get down some couple of deep wards. May set up a good pick-off one now that they've got the blink, but, well,
Oh, man.
OpTic finding one pick after the next.
Another easy kill.
Like, it feels like Cole have like one smoke left in them. They've got these deep wards up. They've got Slider's blink. They need to just get a smoke and find some key pickoffs. And if they aren't successful with that, they're probably out of this game.
It's feeling rather hopeless for compLexity, guys.
Yeah. They don't have like their usual.
What can they do?
They don't have their usual. That's the one thing for me. It's their usual. Like I like to always call it is they have that easy way to just group up and go as 5. In this game, it never could happen. They never actually could really go as that 5-man unit.
And part of that's moves on an edge. Like they banned out Tide Omni. He's not really on that 5-man.
Kyle trying to be that
Yeah.
one-man unit and might just be a gift for OpTic to barely make it out. Can almost sense the desperation.
I think not having that big teamfight hero, Tide, Brewmaster, Omni Knight, makes it really hard for Cole to execute what's normally the Cole game plan.
Someone just like go in and start these fights or just be that frontline tank.
Yeah.
Because right now it's like Slaughter and Earth Spirit. But like you said, Slaughter really needed that blink dagger. He finally got it, but at this point it almost feels like it's just too late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We saw them try force a tower bottom. That's what Cole liked to do, but you can't force a tower when you don't have a teamfight hero.
I mean, they had to reveal that the Ench or Slar was core. And then OpTic's like, oh, we actually just checkmate you. If we take Bat, no matter which one it is, we win the one-on-one matchup. And then, so the last option left was like Weaver. If they take Weaver there, then everything I think is a lot better. Because then you can go aggro, and you'll win that aggro a lot harder than they did with Dro.
Yeah.
Or you can let Weaver 1v1, 1v2.
Yep.
And then you can win 2 lanes. But they last ban Weaver.
Good lasso here as Zai reels in the Ench again, and Moo gets shredded. OpTic, 5-man gank squad, keeps on rolling. A minute without the Enchantress.
And compLexity have no
Mid-Hurricane
option.
Yeah, they actually really don't.
They can only farm. They can only split up and farm.
But
they can't
can,
take 5
but
on
can
5.
they farm their way back into
No,
this game?
they cannot.
No, they don't farm at that speed with these heroes.
They just die.
No, if they that's also the nature. You're playing. That's why I really like what Blitz was saying. Is like you play versus Bat Rider, you need to be able to group up and go, but you can't group up and go. So if you split up, you're just gonna get picked off over and over again by this Bat.
Under attack.
It's the nature of the hero. They will find PPD though.
This is a gift. compLexity set up in position, expecting that TP, and they'll find one, but the turnaround comes through. CCNC trying to finish off Limp, forces out the BKB. Soxa rolling forward, tried to shard trap him in, just couldn't quite catch him, but nonetheless, the chase continues in earnest. Z-Freak likely to go down here. Scream, and he'll take the bullet. The Shadow Fiend still on the
Look at
run, but it
Pycat.
seems like they've
Meanwhile-
caught him as well, and meanwhile, Pycat in the base. Who's going to deal with this man? 3 heroes have fallen. All of this just for PPD's lowly 5th position
Oh,
Winter
he's juking
Wyvern.
them with the illusion on Kyle.
Does bring the tower down, keeps on surging forward, working on the range racks now. The whole OpTic Gaming squad, aside from the Wyvern,
Damn.
moving into position. This might just be a full lane of racks.
I think Pycat played this game actually perfectly. I didn't see him make any mistakes. His movements, just how aggressive he was playing, his choices. Like he didn't go over aggressive either with Zai a couple of those times. I was actually very impressed with Pycat this game.
Yeah, I think Soxa 2 won on the game.
Yeah.
Like, probably more than anyone. Like, Pycat played very well, but once Soxa figured out, he's like, oh, I can just go top and kill Ench like 4 times in a row. Oh yeah, the game's just won.
Yeah.
Is under attack.
And there really wasn't a whole lot compLexity could do to stop that, right? At least not at that stage, unless you want to send the Drow to the jungle at like level 4.
No, it's like God said. He's like, okay, I actually think God's had completely the right idea. He's like, okay, get your Dro 6, just let him hit Ancients from that cliff area, and AFK him off the map, because you can't protect him.
Yeah.
Anytime he goes to a lane, you have to tri-lane with him, because any of the heroes are liable to kill him by themselves.
CNC caught out here, but they can't just bring this Queen of Pain down. The Yules interrupts, turns the fight. The Bat Rider doing massive damage over the top. Chessie will melt, and now onto Moo. compLexity being routed. Their backline's in shambles. 2, make it 3 down. All day. compLexity just getting rolled over.
Is under attack.
Difficult to execute, guys.
Yeah.
Feels
Yeah,
like.
difficult to execute, and OpTic just, I mean, that Bat Rider pick, like Will said, was kind of like checkmate, and they just had, they have kill heroes. They have kill lanes, kill heroes, while on the side of Cole, it's more of like, they just don't really have that, actually. Like, Slaughter Earth Spirit is just very hard to run together as the same duo as supports.
It's such a different game if they have that carry that can 1v1 bat, because then their supports can actually roam. You have like an Edge offlane who can actually 1v3 the lane or 1v2 it. You can roam to help your SF, likely get kills on the Queen of Pain. You can get kills at top with your rotations, but the supports for Cole had very little to no impact.
I mean, the Weaver was banned, obviously. Like you guys have mentioned, Lifestealer, who does well against Bat Rider, probably struggles against some of the other heroes. Would a better carry with what was left have changed it, or did it need to be like a perfect matchup type like the Weaver?
I think it had to be. I think the draft was just like too well constructed.
Yeah.
It was already in trouble by that point.
Yeah.
Well, as
And
soon as
then-
we all
I agree.
saw the bat pick, we were just
Yeah.
like, oh shit, this is actually really problematic for Cole.
This is really problematic for Moo. Lassoed pulled into the midst of the whole squad. He's now turned against his own Shadow Fiend with a good curse as SF brought down quite low. Still in the front line. Very healthy is that PL, but a decent Requiem here might get the CC&C kill. Taking the magnetized damage down. He'll blink away, just kiting them out, and Lip just can't hit anyone during this chase. It feels like finally OpTic will let him out of his misery. They get the kill. That's
They call
4
him.
dead, and the GG is called. Time of death,
Kyle,
30-31.
one more time.
We'll soften the whip.
Damn.
Brutal.
OpTic made the right moves this game, though. I like their movement around the map. I think Cole just, their lanes just were too weak in comparison to what OpTic had.
Yeah.
Like going for the aggro was cute, like having that kind of setup so that the Ench could do decent in the laning phase. But they constricted themselves, like we said. Their supports couldn't move around naturally. They didn't have ways to initiate the fights, and yeah, they don't have that big bruiser that brings the team fight together, like with the Shadow Fiend, like Tidehunter or something like that, that can just be there for him.
So get like a more team fight oriented Moo hero. Is the
That's what I
call
like.
here from the couch.
That's what I like him playing. Some Sand King, some Brews. He doesn't play the Brew too much, but something along like Sand King Tide, Omni, something like that.
Okay.
I can't believe we decided to ride or die.
So we did it, man.
I mean, we did put a
We got him.
disclaimer.
Easy.
This is almost as embarrassing as your fantasy performance.
Again, auto drafted. I spilled garbage on myself right
Oh,
before
Grant
our
auto
draft
draft.
started.
Did you auto draft?
Yes, I came back in the 6th round. I don't have 4 of my first 5 picks anymore on my
So
team.
Grant fully auto drafted his entire team, and
And he's
he
doing
made
well.
it to the playoffs.
He did.
He did not win his playoffs.
So auto draft is that they just pick statistically the best player each round or something.
ESPN's honest. Oh.
Statistically.
Anyways,
They are not the
Okay,
worldwide
dude.
leaders in anything. They're definitely not in fantasy ranking.
not in rating their fantasy
And
players.
certainly not in esports.
I mean, Grant's top in the playoffs. So it sounds like they did all right.
Yeah. But no, because he got rid of all of the players. That they
okay, fair enough.
I don't know if he has any from his starting roster, but well, complexity. I'll have to go back to the drawing board here, guys, as we get ready for game 2.
Something someone said, I can't remember who it was. Maybe it was one of the VP guys. Someone. It was at the end of day 1 or day 2. It was OpTic and Kingwin. They're the 2 best drafting teams of this tournament right now. It feels like they're winning a lot of games just on draft, and have really just performed well on the back of like their captains.
That's at Asus. We were saying the same thing when we saw like most of OpTic's drafts. We're like, this game was like impossible for their team to win
Yeah.
just based off draft perspective.
They've lost games on execution. We've seen a few times.
Yes.
But the draft very rarely puts them behind.
It's often been the story with PPD teams are fantastic drafts, whether or not the execution backs it up.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Well, he might be the Salt Lord, but he is still a fearsome foe here for complexity, guys. You're watching the Dota Summit 8 Winter Wonderland. It's an elimination match. Will OpTic get the clean 2-0 sweep, or will complexity bounce back, force that deciding game 3? We'll find out after this.